Right. Welcome, Nicolette. Lovely to see you.
Likewise.
And thank you so much for sitting with me and doing this little video. I really want to ask you about the course and how you found it. And first off was because I know obviously that how you came to the course is a little bit different from most people. Could you speak a little bit about what actually attracted you to this course?
Our very wonderful and interesting, well-read and well-studied son, Alex, found you
Yeah.
and actually asked us if we would be interested in doing a class and on boundaries. Um, we did a little short intro in the summertime and then found you lovely and interesting. And also the people that were speaking. I think that makes such a difference too. The people that you were engaged with at that time was attracting to me as well. But mostly, if your son wants to do a class where you can learn and grow um, together as a family, wow, that's a really cool thing. And he actually talked all of us into doing it, our whole family of six.
That was very impressive and like the best news for me because he did all my marketing for me. Um, yeah, and for anyone who's watching this, Nicolette's son Alex did the course earlier in the year, and then he invited his whole family to do it again with him a little while later. So I got to meet you and your whole family, which was really lovely. Yeah, and so now, what was it like? So, you'd heard a bit from Alex. He told you about it. It was intriguing to you. You kind of met me on one of the free webinars. And then what kind of made you actually decide to just go ahead and do the course?
Well, when everyone said, sure, we'll try, we'll do it, um, it was a resounding yes. And how can you say no to something like that, where people want to grow together?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And
was easy.
yeah, okay. It was very interesting for me because I'd never done a family before. And yeah, I would love to know as well, once you were doing the course a few weeks in, what was it like? So you had maybe a perception about what it was like, and then now maybe 2 or 3 weeks in, what was the actual experience like?
Yeah. I just loved the things that you challenged us to do.
Mhm.
The journey, the emotional literacy, contemplating about what we're grateful for, and then your amazing coursework and your videos, and um, that was just really so much more than we I had dreamt that this class would be.
Okay. Right. Amazing. Yeah. And had you done anything like this before?
I've done some counseling in the past, just one on one or two, my husband and I together, um, but no, nothing like this before.
Okay. All right. And now that you've been through the course, it's been a few weeks after. When you look back at what you learned, what have you really taken from the course that you're applying?
Hmm. You know, I think so much of it becomes just integral into who you are. When you challenge yourself and when you learn and when you take time to really um, think about your life and your goals and your what is meaningful to you, then it's impossible to articulate all of the changes. Um, I think that there's a sensitivity between my husband and I, Dan, who took the class,
Mhm.
um, that has grown. I believe it's not only respect, it's something deeper than that. I think it's an empowering feeling that I have gained uh, by doing this class.
Mhm.
Uh, I was looking recently at some of the things that I felt challenged by in my life, and one of them was just not feeling empowered. And this class has certainly helped me in
Mm.
that regard.
Okay. Amazing. And
As a woman,
yeah,
human, as
mm,
you know.
all the things. Yeah. I know it's so beautiful. And I really I almost wish I could get whole families to sign up because it's so much easier uh to to practice the new changes, the new behaviors when other people understand what you're doing.
Yeah,
Okay.
so true, so
Yeah.
true.
Because it
Yeah.
can be so often a challenge when we decide to change and take responsibility for ourselves. That can be tough on the people around us. And I'm sure it still had its challenges. I'm not trying to convey that, it was not challenging for you guys, but certainly at least knowing like, oh, okay, this is them asking for their need to be met and what's
Hmm.
going on as an example. Um, so I'm so pleased to hear that between you and your husband as well, there's been some kind of a connection shift.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think when someone thinks of a boundary, you barely even mentioned that word in this whole, what was it, 8 weeks or 6 weeks that we were together. There's just so much that you offer in this class. It's I don't want to say overwhelming because it's not, but it's just packed full of so many things that you can learn and focus on and think about and grow from,
Mhm.
that I really want to take time and go back and thank you for that opportunity to listen to some of your classes again, and
Mhm.
for the time afterwards, because yeah, the meditation, I just would love to listen to that again.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's good that you said that because for a little while I've been contemplating extending the time as well.
Hmm.
So it started off as a 6-week course, and then people said, yeah, there's a lot in it. We'd like a little bit more time. So I made it 8. But
Right.
you say and a couple of others, even maybe making it 12,
Yeah,
would help support the learning process.
absolutely. That's a great idea. And um, maybe more time on each of these, to have more time to really process and think about each thing that we've learned.
Mhm.
Benefit.
So it is definitely sounding like you would recommend this course to other people.
Well, you know, um,
Leading
it's
question.
so well, and I would, you know, what did I write in my notes? Who doesn't want to learn more, grow, teach ourselves through um, a wise woman's promptings? It's kind of like when you find a cure for an illness, you want everyone to know about it. That's how I feel about this class. I want everyone to try it and learn about
Oh,
themselves.
oh, I really love that. That's a really beautiful analogy. Yeah. And so if someone was wondering about doing it and you described it like medicine, what do you think they would really get out of it? And kind of want to ask that question, like when you look back now, just for your own life, you've mentioned, I know, with you and your husband, but is there other things that you kind of that have emerged for you that you would love to say to someone, oh, if you do this course, this can be like this for you. This.
Yeah. Well, especially if you do it with family. I've mentioned it to several friends here, and they have got big eyes wide open and said, "Wow, you got your husband to do that? Your family to do that together?" And it wasn't really me. That I didn't do much of anything. It was Alex, and it was just that our family was prompted, and what a beautiful thing, because every Sunday meeting with you for that hour really drew us together, and we were able to share things that otherwise, you just don't share, even if it's, you're trying to have meaningful times. It's not like that. It is really, really sweet to see, listen to what others' needs are,
Mhm.
and communicate with you as a
Yeah.
teacher.
And I think it's so important to have like a framework so that you can, no one needs a script or has to have a script. A framework is much better to understand kind of a process to move through, to convey needs, to have a specific request or a vague request, depending on what's happening. And this is what's so beautiful about doing the boundaries work as we work on ourselves, is that we connect much better with others.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's
And
almost like you're opening doors, whereas one thinks a boundary is creating a space around you, but it is actually opening up more of you.
yeah, yeah. And I know actually it's interesting that you also use those analogies, because one thing that drew Alex to my work was describing boundaries like a cell wall or an immune system.
Yeah,
That if we kind of get our boundaries wrong, we can end up keeping the good stuff out,
right,
holding
right.
bad stuff inside. And so
Yeah,
it's this kind of flexible, moving thing. But you're right, the word boundary is a bit tricky because everyone conjures up something very solid.
correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So super. Okay, well, I just wanted to thank you so much for taking the time to do this and being here and sharing, what was beneficial for you. And I know that we're going to keep in touch. So I look forward to seeing and speaking with you another time soon. Thanks, Nicolette.
Well, I also want to say thank you, BB, and to the families out there. I would urge you, honestly, to take this time when you consider 6 or 8 or even 12 weeks of your whole life, how that can be so life changing. And I honestly believe that is your future, our families. I believe that you're going to make a big impact in families.
Thank you, Nick. That's a beautiful note to end on. And we'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye for now.